Okay, so quick thought before I show the video that's coming up next here. I wanna point out the fact that on my platforms between my Instagram and my YouTube, I've shown a video too where I'm being stalked and harassed and followed around by men wearing blue. They make a point to show me the blue shirts. What I'm assuming is it's one of these little fraternal organizations, Freemasons, whatever, one of these groups. More likely the Masons, I guess. Because I hear they're heavily involved in this gang stalking, which we all know. And they're getting grant money just like all these other organizations like Neighborhood Watch or whatever. But, see, the discussion I'm going to have here is about love, sex, relationships, and things of that nature while being gang stalked. Now, what I find very interesting is if you take a look at my YouTube page, I have a section in my playlist where I have a whole selection of videos showing child sex predators linking up with underage children, mainly boys. All right, these grown men from ages like 21 all the way to like 80 trying to meet with young teenage boys, right? Pubertastic boys, 13, 14-year-old boys for sex. And they describe in graphic sexual conversations what they want to do with these boys. And they exchange pictures and all these different things. And they actually show up and they get busted by a decoy. All right. Now I have a playlist, and if you take a look at that, you'll see that the majority of these guys who are getting caught up in this sting, they're wearing the same blue color coordination that the people who actually practice gang stalking on me around society and around the community. Speaking of blue, here's a blue car, one of those loud noise campaign vehicles right there. Just rode past me because 24 is on the clock for me to hear his vehicle and whatever. So, but I don't want to get sidetracked. What I'm saying is these are the same people who got the audacity to get out here and follow me around and stalk me around. But obviously their organization has some kind of something going on where they're out here exploiting children sexually, utilizing the internet. And luckily there's somebody out here gang stalking their asses. Somebody's out here following them around and catching them on what they're doing. So I think that is something that we as targeted individuals need to start to think about, especially those of you out here like myself who are being targeted for no apparent reason. They have no reason to be doing this. We need to start forming groups. We need to start gang stalking the gang stalkers. We need to start highlighting what the hell they're out here doing. But I'm going to go ahead and cut that here. I just wanted to point that out. If you get a chance, take a look at my playlist. And there's a section of child predators, and you'll see a distinct situation where you'll see these gentlemen wearing, I don't want to call them gentlemen, you'll see these men wearing the same blue color coordination as the guys who follow me around in this whole human trafficking gang stalking scheme. So there's a correlation there. And I would love to hear about it if anyone has any more information on that in the comments. Peace. Okay, so before I get into the full discussion of this video, I wanna acknowledge something about the discussion that I'm getting ready to have in this upcoming video here. All right, so first of all, as a targeted individual, this part of the targeting is not often discussed. And a lot of people, every demographic will not be able to relate to this. This is a subsection within a subsection, if you understand what I mean, of people. Now, I'm going to discuss the way this targeting is isolating and depriving me personally of certain things, like financially, relationship wise, sex wise, things of that nature, right? Natural human needs are being they're attempting to deprive us of. Okay, so that's kind of the basis of the discussion here.
In 600
Now,
feet, turn left onto Country Fair Circle.
I would be remiss not to mention or not to acknowledge the fact that, yes, I've been in the South. I'm not from the South. I've been down here for about 10 years now. All right? And it would be irresponsible for me to wonder exactly what's going on and keep discussing this without acknowledging the fact that race does play a role in gang stalking. Some people might not want to acknowledge that. Maybe it's not good for their platform and their algorithms and their, their pockets or whatever. But it plays a part, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, it might not necessarily play a part where the typical gang stalker who is gang stalking you, gaslighting you, or doing the different things that they do, their different tactics. Race might not play a role in that, but race can absolutely play a role in the reason why you've been thrown into the program to begin with. For example, I've been in the South now for about 10 years, and we know the history of the South. Let's just be real here, all right? And we understand that there's always been a proclivity of a certain demographic to feel that the need and the right to control.
Turn left onto Florida 804 East West going to Ranch Boulevard.
A African American man's sexual access, to control and police the African American male's penis. Okay, not to be crass here. So a lot of those sentiments have not all disappeared. That's still here. In America, it's a truth, and it's still here. It might not be as in your face and out there open, but it still happens. And with the event of all this technology and all this access that we have to one another, these same ideas and these same sentiments are still here. So, if you have a person or a group of people harboring those type of feelings and still feeling that type of privilege, and that they're feeling they still have that right to control another human being, sexuality, sexual access, things of that nature, you will find yourself possibly in a gang stalking program and not understand exactly why, based upon the fact that the program is supposed to be about protecting the critical infrastructure, protecting the country from security threats. But someone with ill intentions who are harboring feelings of superiority and hate and jealousy and things of that nature might want to misuse these resources that they have access to in order to exert a certain level of control over someone who otherwise they probably wouldn't be able to have any control over. Okay? So, if someone feels like they want to control your access to sex, they want to control what you can and cannot do with your penis. I call it penis policing. These type of men, in particular, who may have access to this program due to their profession or whatever the case may be, absolutely can have you thrown into this type of program that will affect your life in ways that will cause you to be deprived of natural human interactions that anybody, any living human being will desire. Okay? Now, you don't necessarily have to be any sort of a threat, but in order to get you thrown on this program to exert this type of control over your life, over your sexual access, you can have fabricated charges, fabricated accusations. It doesn't take much evidence or much reason to have someone thrown into this program. So it could be a jealous spouse who wants to control a jealous ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, a jealous lover, someone who you might have even denied a relationship with or sexual relationship with. As a woman, you might have turned a guy down. Even a guy, you might have turned a guy down. even a male who might be a male like myself, a heterosexual straight male, and there's a homosexual male who is a little salty because he doesn't have sexual access to you. Therefore, he says, you know what? Well, let me virtually cyber, or maybe virtual or cyber style, castrate this person. All right? To make it virtually impossible for this person to have normal interactions, especially and particularly sexual interactions with other people. Think about that. So before I get into this discussion, I just want to point that out, that is absolutely a possibility, especially when you think of the history of this country and race relations and sexuality and dating and all of these different things. There's always been issues with that. The only difference now is it might not be out in the open as much, but we do have technology and things of that nature with people harboring those type of feelings can express them without being so overt, if you understand what I'm saying. So just think about that. Again, everybody's not going to be able to relate to that. Everybody's targeting is not centered around that type of situation. You may be a married person. You might not be a person of a certain demographic where this type of thing affects you now or historically. You might be a female, and you know, it's just you might not be able to relate to that. But I'm pretty sure there are plenty of individuals out here who can, and they understand what I'm saying, and they are experiencing the same type of phenomenon. So I'll leave it there. Peace.